You've tuned in to Co-ed Gaming.
What's up, guys? My name is Mike of Co-ed Gaming, and one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube. Released in 2002, this game was treated by Nintendo as the first spiritual successor to Super Mario 64. Some would say that it succeeded in that aspect, others would say that it wouldn't. I personally believe that this is one of the most fun, beautiful, absolutely astounding games that I ever played, both as a kid and to this day. Super Mario Sunshine is a game that really needs no introduction if you're a gamer that was born at any time during the early to mid 90s or even the early 2000s. Chances are you've at least played this game or at the very least heard of it in some way. And the reviews do not lie. Super Mario Sunshine has been praised among all gamers ever since its release way back in 2002. What made this game so popular? Well, for one thing, this was the first Super Mario game that ever had a gimmick. Think about it. In the original Super Mario Bros., even though that technically was a follow-up to the Mario Bros. Arcade game, Super Mario Bros. Is technically where it all started, at least where we are today. The real gimmick of that game was just hero rescues princess from dragon. Nothing new, we've seen that done a million times. Super Mario Land, on the other hand, added Yoshi, the first rideable character to the Mario franchise, and he soon became a staple of the entire Mario franchise and for all of Nintendo. Fast forward a couple years to Super Mario 64, the first 3D Mario game. Ditching Yoshi and only being able to be found if you collected all 120 stars and then conveniently finding him on top of Peach's castle, for some reason, that game debatably was one of the best Mario games ever created. Definitely one of the best games for the Nintendo 64, right up there with Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Killer Instinct, and Banjo-Kazooie. Now fast forward from 1996 to 2002, Nintendo releases the GameCube, and the first game that they show off, aside from Super Mario 128, is Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, kind of a letdown for the fans, but hey, Luigi's Mansion, it was fun, it was something different, it was basically Luigi meets Ghostbusters. Come on, it was pretty cool. It's kind of cute now that we look back at it, but Mario has always been, and debatably will always be, the star of the show. So, it was only natural that the fans waited for the true Mario game to arrive, and it came in the form of Super Mario Sunshine. Why was this game so successful? Again, it had a gimmick. Super Mario Bros., Hero Rescues Princess from Dragon, Super Mario World, Yoshi, Super Mario 64, 3D, Super Mario Sunshine, water. Yup, water was the gimmick. You were on Delfino Island, where you were staying on vacation after your plane had a rough landing and slime was covered all over the entire island. The natives immediately think you did it because there's M's all over the place, which of course is the first letter of Mario's name, and the fact that there are police sketches of Shadow Mario, later revealed to be Baby Bowser, who looks exactly like Mario. So the natives immediately think that Mario did this, they throw him into jail and they say, "Listen, asshole, clean this island or you can't leave." So Mario has to basically go to each of the worlds, cleaning up all the sludge and getting all the stars, effectively following the same formula as Super Mario 64, except now, instead of just jumping around and doing wall jumps to get to high places, you could shoot water, you could hover. All the levels were built around the fact that you had this water pump, and that was something that, first of all, Nintendo has never done since. Flood, the water pump on Mario's back, has never been seen since Super Mario Sunshine, and that's what I want to talk about today. Nintendo, let's face the facts. Super Mario Sunshine is one of the most beloved games of the Nintendo GameCube's era. Debatably right up there with F-Zero GX and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Nintendo, do the world a favor. Make Super Mario Sunshine 2. I mean, let's look at this realistically. Super Mario Sunshine has never been remade and has never had a sequel, and look what Nintendo's been doing recently. They've either been doing reboots or sequels to some of their most popular franchises. Look at Super Mario 3D World. Obviously a sequel to Super Mario 3D Land, just like how we had Super Mario Land on the Game Boy, now we have 3D Land on the 3DS. Super Mario 3D World to coincide with Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. It was the next step up. It makes sense. Now look at Luigi's Mansion, ironically the GameCube's launch title, or at least one of them. That recently got a sequel, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Now, if Nintendo is able to make a sequel to Luigi's Mansion, which was well received, what is stopping them from making a sequel to Super Mario Sunshine? Think about all the things that they could implement. For one thing, using the gamepad could, for one thing, change the way you control where you shoot the water. Remember, you used the C stick. Oh wait, no, you didn't use the C stick. You used the analog stick to move the water in Super Mario Sunshine when you had the R button clicked all the way down. But since the gamepad doesn't use those analog triggers anymore, what if instead you were able to control the water by tapping or holding a certain spot on the touchscreen on the gamepad? That's a small thing they can implement. For one thing, it could add puzzles into the game that couldn't originally be there, because you'd be looking at them on the gamepad screen, not on the TV. Or maybe you could actually manage the amount of water that FLUDD possibly could have through the gamepad screen. That could be something. Oh, what if to refill FLUDD, when you got in the water, you had to shake the gamepad, just like how Mario would shake the handles on the pump? You see, all of these things are just ideas that I'm just throwing out off the top of my head. There are a team of people that could sit down, talk about all the things that this game could offer, bring some ideas to the table. This could be one of the most anticipated sequels in Nintendo history. Super Mario Sunshine, in my opinion, is one of the best GameCube games and one of the best games of all time. You may think differently, but one thing that you cannot debate is the foothold that this game has in Nintendo's history. Almost every Mario parody, at some point or another, has mentioned Delfino Plaza, the Piantas, or FLUDD. This game is legendary, and it's only had one entry. This isn't like Galaxy that's had two. This has only had one. But I think it's time for another one. Nintendo, make Super Mario Sunshine 2. If you like what you've seen, make sure to check out the rest of Coed Gaming, where we upload gaming videos every single week. Take it easy, guys.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed the show, please hit the like, favorite, and subscribe buttons down below. No animals were harmed in the making of this film, and if you think we did well, then you're a shallow prick. Don't forget some of the past videos we did, which can be found in the boxes here and here. And as always, you guys are fucking beautiful. Except for Mikey.
Fuck you!